with me.
Absolutely. I'm definitely learning, even in, like relationships and what I'm looking for moving forward, in my next relationship. And there's certain things that I just no longer, I don't want, you know what I mean? And so, um, even that, like, okay, this is what I expect. If I'm going to do this for myself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not accepting anything less. I don't want your crumbs, sir, ma'am. Um, and just being okay with that. And a job, I'm not just going to take anything from here on out.
No, no.
You can't feed me crumbs. No one is going to be feeding me crumbs. Those days are over.
Yeah, that feels like that's such a powerful statement. Like when I heard that the first time from that reading, and she was just like, you don't have to accept the crumbs. And, it's like in love, in life,
All of it.
from myself.
For myself, yes, absolutely.
Like that is so powerful. It's like, be here for the feast.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do for a feast? You wear your best outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You put out your nicest plates.
Mm-hmm.
Like your finest china. Like you fly as hell in your living room if you ain't going nowhere. But like you show up as like your best self every day. And there will be days that you don't even want to get up.
It takes me back to that video I just posted from what's her name?
What have you done for yourself?
What have you done for yourself? When I tell you that they took me out, I was like, oh,
like, okay, yeah, you done did all of these things, right? That's great.
You did great things, but what did you do?
Beautiful gowns. However,
comma, what
did you live joyously? Did you love deeply? Did you live happily? Like, was there happiness? What have you done for yourself?
And I love the fact that the part that really took it over for me was that the fact that she stood before herself. It was her higher self speaking to her.
Yes.
All her glory. And after all the pain, the agony, and the triumph. She sees herself as her highest self, and her highest self is saying, what did you do? Like, that's so profound to me.
That's so amazing.
So profound to me. Like, what did you do with your life for you? Not
to
appease somebody else, not to get an accolade, not to get known, but what did you do
for you, for your happiness,
for your peace, for your own joy?
Wow.
Yo, that thing, when I watched it like 2-3 times, and I was just like,
I couldn't handle it. I was like, so we're gonna be crying on this early morning. And I was teary-eyed the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was very emotional to watch. Because and then she started getting emotional, and she was like, I finally get it. And it's funny because I finally fucking get it. Like,
yes.
I am there. And even my attitude about certain things, I noticed that I'm changing in a lot of ways. And even like, I just don't have time for nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And I found I figured out that it's like, no, you're not moody. You know what I'm saying? You have
just ain't got time
for these motherfuckers. Like, you got boundaries and you got shit to do. That's been my phrase. I have shit to do. And I'm just not accepting anybody's crumbs on any level. I don't want
them.
And hell, I might not even want your full course meal if it's not what I want to delight or dine on. So, being able to say that, nah, your feast is cool, but I'm gonna go with something else.
Like the way I envision my feast is not the way you got it.
I don't like the way your
I don't like your napkins. Your napkins don't.
You have circle plates. I want mine square. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want a little gold on the trim.
Gold trim,
And that's it. It makes me laugh because, like, it only takes time and age to finally understand what, like, some of my grandma's sayings are, and she's like, she will always say, like, if something didn't work out with somebody or whatever, she's like, in Spanish, it's basically like, farther down there are people who live down the road and with concrete homes. You know, with a view of the sea, is what my grandma said. And you know, and everybody, you know, when you in your 20s and you in love and heartbroken, it's like, but I mean, I love him. And he's like, don't worry about that. You know, it's not fish in the sea. It's like there are homes with ocean views waiting for you.
You don't have to settle for the locals.
Right. And like, add another layer to, like, I saw somebody say, like, you haven't met all the people that are gonna love you yet. You haven't met all the people that you're going to love and be loved by yet. And it's like,
yeah. And
so it's like, there's more. There's so much more out there for you.
And stop, stop being afraid to go get it. Sometimes we settle for things because of that same fear, that same imposter syndrome. I don't deserve better than this. Why would I deserve this? You have to put that off and being like, no.
And also ask that self, like, why not?
Why not? Right.
Why not me?
And instead of that, like, at this point, I'm shooting my shot. If I want to shoot my shot, I'm gonna shoot my shot at every fucking body. He could be the finest, most, you know.
I'm still working on that.
Most thing. And I don't necessarily shoot my shot, but I'm just saying, like, it would be to the point where, like, literally, like, okay, a dating app, for example. If I saw a dude who I thought was too good for me, I would swipe left because I'm like, oh, he's not gonna swipe right on me. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's self-rejection, man. Like, how you know?
He might be feeling a little, you know what I'm saying? So we not swiping left on nothing. We're not swiping left on none of our.
Don't swipe left on your life.
We're not swiping left at all.
Nothing is too good for you. Now, as long as you are in your truth, because that is the biggest thing. Like, one thing is thinking what your success should look like, and another thing is that knowing of being fulfilled and recalibrating what success is. Like, nobody's success is yours.
And then also, I think this is a big thing too. You want to prepare for the success, yes, and prepare for all of the things that you know are divinely yours. However, be okay if none of that shit happens. You have to get to a place where you're okay, whether your version of what's supposed to happen turns out, because it might not be your exact version. And I know I have to, and that might just be a word for me. I'm not saying that's for everyone. But for me, I had to get to a place where, because I'm very specific, I want shit the way I want it. I need X, Y, Z. I need to marry this person. I need us to have the two.
You need to be 6'5".
I need it to look like this. I need all of that.
Kofi cerebral.
Right. And to know, yes, I can have that, but to also know that if things don't go exactly the way I planned it, to just be okay with that. You know, be okay with me. And know that although, because there's so many things that happen to me that happen better than I was even trying to conceive it.
A word.
You know, and if I would have stayed in that same mindset of I only want it like this, I would have never figured out that there was something, and you might not consider it better. It's just different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But right. I would have never even considered it because I was so stuck in this way. But being okay whether or not things happen the way you need it to happen.
Right.
And I think that's important because we get so caught up, like you're preparing, you're not just preparing to lose, but you're doing things that self-sabotage and all of those things. And you get lost in trying to figure out either way, like, am I going to lose?
Because it's not even for you to figure out. Just keep doing the things that you want to do and feel fulfilled by.
One thing I always say is that I am content, but I'm never complacent.
Mm.
And so I right now am I content? Yes, I'm fed, I'm blessed, I am living out my dream, although it's not where I want it to be right now. I have a job, although I do not like it, it is paying the bills,
Yeah.
So I am content. I don't want for anything. I am fed. I am loved. I am whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not complacent. I am okay with moving up. I'm not going to stay here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, this is nice,
This
but
is
there's
nice,
space
but
for more.
there's space for growth. But just appreciating your now.
Mm.
I think that's important. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Super important.
That's appreciating your now, and I guess that's where I'm trying to go with it. Appreciate.
Yeah. I think in appreciating your now, you can also sit back and look at where you used to be and be like, wow.
I remember when my now was then.
Yeah. It was my wish and it was my dream
to be
then.
Yeah.
And look, here we are. You know?
Yeah.
I think where our dreams are is just kind of like the idea of what could possibly be, right? No matter how big you think you're thinking, like
it could be bigger.
It could be bigger.
Yeah.
Like your grass could have flowers in it. There could be butterflies. You could have a whole rainbow and sun and sunset to ride off into, like you said.
Yes.
And society and living in a lack existence will have you dream as far as you think you can go, but like let the dream be the seed.
Yeah.
And you just like sprout and see how big you get. And how amazing things can be.
You haven't even seen how far you can go because your mind can't conceive that because, like you said, you haven't experienced it.
Right.
Yeah. So just to know that, like, not just the sky's the limit, the fucking universe is the limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Galaxy is the limit. And you can have it. You know what I mean? And just go. Just we always say that. Just go.
Go. Do it scared.
Do it scared. Absolutely.
And I think that's a good place to end the conversation, y'all. Stop being scared.
Stop being scared. Do the shit.
Flourish and bloom.
Yes. I said on one post, blooming is your birthright.
Yes.
So, yes, do so. Go forth.
Prosper.
Yeah, so this has been great.
This is always fun. I always have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what else comes and where we'll go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you, friend. So I will
Thank you for listening to the show. Check out our Patreon, the website in the show notes. Rate, review, and subscribe or share with the homie. And don't forget that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. Pas oublier, c'est magique. Take care and see you next week.